Real 100% react is me, Jay, and Miss She, of course. We about to react to Dr. Umar Johnson.
Mm-mm.
Dr. Umar Johnson.
This should be interesting.
It's very interesting. Very interesting, right?
What did I say?
I don't know.
Touch keyboard?
Yeah, nigga. What you touch the keyboard for? All right, let's get into this Dr. Umar, man.
Caitlin Clark, how you feel about everything that's going on with her right now?
The situation involving Caitlin Clark, I believe, is unfortunate for her because she has been relatively modest and quiet since entering the WNBA. I think the problem is that the white power structure and the WNBA has an agenda to make Caitlin Clark the athletic face of the league. Now, they can make her the marketing face of the league, but it's going to be difficult to make her the athletic face of the league because she is not to the WNBA what LeBron James was to the NBA. She's not a Luka Doncic or Nikola Jokic. She's not a Larry Bird, if you will. And so the problem, as I see it, is the WNBA wants to pass off responsibility for Caitlin Clark not being the instant athletic phenom they want her to be. They want to pass off that responsibility onto the black women of the WNBA. And it appears that they're trying to push a narrative that says Caitlin Clark isn't able to maximize her talents on the court because she's being bullied by these much larger black women. And that simply isn't true. Basketball is a competitive sport. You play to compete. That is the nature of athletics. So shaming and blaming black women for competing against Caitlin Clark when you all took it upon yourselves to exaggerate her skill set simply isn't fair. You saw what happened the other day. There was a game that the Indiana Fever had with Chicago Sky. And Kennedy Carter, I believe is the sister's name, she had shoulder checked Caitlin Clark to the floor. The referees called a common foul, and the WNBA later upgraded the common foul to a flagrant foul. Well, everybody's up in arms calling Kennedy a bully. She's jealous. The black women of the WNBA are jealous of Caitlin Clark because she's getting all of this attention. Wait a minute, time out. Why didn't anyone talk about the play just before the one that led to the shoulder check?
All right, let's watch this here. You get a foul from Caitlin Clark. She hits the woman in the back of the head. Okay, turns around and talks shit. She's talking shit back down the court. All right, cool. It's all good. Caitlin Clark, up there, number 22, watch top of the screen, gets beat backdoor, pushes, goes out, loses her on defense, loses her woman on defense, gets beat, gives up the bucket, and then now the reaction. Now look at the reaction.
Is, will they call it
tough hit,
unnecessary?
tough
Kennedy
foul,
Carter
and a flop.
and
Y'all
Clark.
mad at this? She flopped. That's a flop. It's a nice, tough push.
Which was called. The
But that's what happens when you talk shit. Especially when you talk shit
Kennedy
and
Carter.
get beat for a basket.
Caitlin Clark went over the head of one of Kennedy Carter's teammates, hit her in the head. The foul was not called. And then on the way back up the court, she proceeded to trash talk the opposing team.
Facts.
So, you know, in any sport, when you foul someone and it's not called, and then you have the audacity to trash talk the other team on your way up the court, paybacks are due. That's in the WNBA, that's in the NBA, that's in college, that's in Little League. What Kennedy Carter did happens all the time in the WNBA, the NBA, college, and other places. But because she's supposed to be the Cinderella of the WNBA,
What you were saying?
white America
Goldilocks.
took issue with it,
Goldilocks.
and nobody focused on the fact that she started the whole thing. And what really perturbed me was when I went to the sports commentators on television, I hear Charles Snow Bunny Barkley calling the black women of the WNBA jealous. He said
That's
they're
funny.
jealous of Caitlin Clark. And
He
then
did
Snow
say that.
Bunny Shannon Sharpe, he chimes in with the same false criticism, saying that they're
Sure.
jealous of Caitlin Clark. Nobody's jealous of Caitlin Clark. No disrespect to her because I don't think she deserves this because she hasn't said or done anything that would warrant anybody intentionally pursuing her beyond the fact that a lot of much better players are being overlooked in deference to the white rookie, which I could understandably recognize if you got players who've been in this league for 1 year or more years who are way better than Caitlin Clark, and they have been overlooked to be the athletic face of the WNBA, and everybody knows why. Because she's the new white girl who they want to be the ambassador for the sport. The problem is she isn't that good enough. And then Matt Barnes, he chimes in again with Snow Bunny Shannon Sharpe, and they both say that Caitlin Clark's teammates are not protecting her. Protect her from what, Matt Barnes? Protect her from what, Snow Bunny Shannon Sharpe? She started the altercation. She hit the girl in the head. I do believe it was inadvertent. It was a basketball play. I don't think it was a dirty cheap shot, but you still hit her and the ref didn't call it. And then you trash talked her and you got what you were looking for. So why are you calling on Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark's teammate, to be the plantation mammy of the
Damn.
WNBA and
What's
play
that plantation?
bodyguard for Caitlin Clark? Timeout. Aaliyah Boston is a National Player of the Year. Aaliyah Boston is a Olympic gold medalist. Aaliyah Boston is an NCAA champion. Aaliyah Boston has her own status and prestige in the WNBA. She's just as accomplished, if not more so, than Caitlin Clark. So why would you reduce her to being the on-court mammy whose new job now is not to play basketball, but to defend the privileged white girl, Caitlin Clark, from other black female athletes? It's
So what you how you feeling about this so far?
He ain't said nothing wrong to me.
I think he on point. And I do get some like I think Caitlin Clark can be the what's the word I'm looking for, baby? She's not going like the athlete, probably not, but she could be
The face
the face
of it.
of the like the marketing standpoint of it. There
Yeah.
you go. I can see what they might be doing with that.
Yeah.
And then even with Matt Barnes saying like, you know, her teammates should kind of come to her defense. No, I'm not saying all of them should, but they probably should have like maybe one person on the squad that might be either as low as Caitlin Clark or on the same level or somebody like that. Like, look, you could be like that enforcer person to, you know, make sure nothing happened to her. Like y'all keep her
Yeah,
safe type shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
because
agree.
Matt Barnes was one of those guys that was like an enforcer. If somebody did something, he came to like Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
He would be like the enforcer on the team. If somebody did something to Steph or Clay, he's coming to
Yeah.
protect them. So I get that part. I think it's funny how he's wording it like the mammy that shit. But even with the young lady he was just talking about, it shouldn't be her that would come to her rescue. It should maybe be somebody that's on the team that's not as high as, you know,
Yeah.
other people to come and protect her type thing.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
not fair. And then we come to LeBron Buck Dancing James, LBJ. And then LeBron James gets on the internet and he basically tells the black women of the WNBA to chill out and relax. Caitlin Clark is the reason you guys are getting all this new attention. She's the reason that you guys are making more money. She's the reason attendance has picked up. She's the reason you guys are getting chartered flights. Well, guess what? I disagree with you, LeBron James. I disagree with you. And let me tell you why. Have you noticed, LeBron James, Charles Barkley, Shannon Sharpe, that because of Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky tickets have quadrupled in sale? That the stadium has quadrupled in attendance? Why is nobody talking about the Angel Reese effect? So you're telling me people are going to watch Angel Reese, although Caitlin Clark does not play in Chicago, people are going to watch Angel Reese because Caitlin Clark is in the WNBA. That's not true. They're watching Angel Reese for Angel Reese. Last time I checked, Angel Reese beat the University of Iowa for the national championship 2 years ago. And the
Facts.
reason why Angel Reese is being demonized by the WNBA, white media, white society, and the kunocracy of the WNBA is because they did not forgive her for spoiling Caitlin Clark's season 2 years ago. In the 2022-2023 national semifinals of the women's NCAA tournament, Caitlin Clark in Iowa went against North Philadelphia's Dawn Staley and the undefeated Lady Gamecocks of the University of South Carolina. They were undefeated. And the referees robbed Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks. It was a highway robbery. If you breathed on Caitlin Clark, they called a foul. But when the Lady Gamecocks were being beat up, Aaliyah Boston and company, no fouls were called. They were robbed. So after the White Snow Bunny referees robbed South Carolina in the national semifinals game, America thought that Caitlin Clark would cruise to the national championship. But guess who had something to say about that? Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers. And Angel Reese knocked off Caitlin Clark to win an NCAA National Women's Championship, and America has not forgiven her for that.
Let's not forget, not just that.
Oh, the you can't see me. Yeah.
That happened, and I think that was the thing too. That was a major part of it. That too, and like what he said, she did spoil everybody else in America. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause if you gotta think about it, man, like there's more white people in the world than there is black folks. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Let's go to this year. So once again, Iowa sees Dawn Staley's Lady Gamecocks. Aaliyah Boston is in the WNBA. The referees couldn't cheat them this time. Now, they did beat Angel Reese in the semifinals. So Caitlin Clark and Iowa did get some of their revenge, but they didn't get all of their revenge because when Angel Reese beat you, she won a ring. When you beat her, you didn't win a ring. And then you lost to Dawn Staley,
again,
a coach, by the way,
Mhm.
who only
Undefeated.
lost 3 games in 3 seasons.
She was
Undefeated. Unprecedented season. Dawn Staley is going to go down in history as the greatest women's basketball coach of all time. But guess what? She's not getting no attention at all. All the attention is going on the loser, Caitlin Clark. When have you
How many times I done said that?
Yeah.
I done said that so many times. Like I don't understand how we are glorifying this loser. Not she's a loser, but I'm not like a, you know what I'm saying?
Glorifying the loss.
Yeah,
that
like
she had.
my dog, like these people went undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
No L's, no nothing. 38-0. And they're not getting the respect that they deserve. And what's the girl name? The player.
Angel Reese.
No, the girl to play on the South Carolina team or North Carolina, the one undefeated.
Oh, Camilla Cardozo.
Camilla, like they just sleeping over her. Like dog, that's making me a little mad too though. So my bad.
Yeah.
You ever seen the losing team get more attention than the woman team? And to add insult to injury, I can't believe that Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey's running mate, had the audacity to interview Coach Dawn Staley in the aftermath of the University of South Carolina's national championship. And she asked Dawn Staley, this is a black woman, elder, interviewing another black woman, youth. And she says, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind? Because we were all rooting for Caitlin Clark in the University of Iowa.
That's crazy.
Time out, Gayle. Time out, Gayle. Who was rooting for Caitlin Clark in the University of Iowa? Because I wasn't. I was rooting for my North Philadelphia sister coach, Dawn Staley, and the Lady Gamecocks. And I watched them more than men's basketball. Caitlin Clark isn't the only reason people are tuning into women's college basketball and the WNBA. It's because of Dawn Staley, the Lady Gamecocks, Angel Reese, the improvement in ladies' competition over the past couple years, and yes, Caitlin Clark. I will not deny her impact, but to put it in a vacuum,
What's that?
Stephan A Smith, to put it in a vacuum, Matt Barnes, to put it in a vacuum, LaShawn McCoy, to put it in a vacuum,
It's that football
Shannon
player.
Sharpe, and say that all of this new attention is due to the
And Sean McCoy, I ain't like what he
Yeah,
said.
yeah. We didn't know his name.
Yeah,
You
I ain't
didn't
know his
bother to
name.
research
Yeah,
him. But once he said it, I was like, ha
yeah,
ha.
that's that old
That's that. Yeah.
cornball.
white female rookie is not fair to the players who are already there. This started 2 years ago when Angel Reese beat Iowa. You know as well as I know, you can't have a protagonist without an antagonist. Why do you go to movies to watch Batman? You go to movies to watch Batman because you know there's going to be a Riddler. Why do you go to a boxing match?
I would say
Because
Joker
you know
for
if
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis is on this side of the ring, somebody else is going to be on this side of the ring. The
nobody
protagonist
cares
and
about
the
the Riddler.
antagonist
Just
make the
no.
story.
Who cares about the Riddler?
Unfortunately, white America has made Angel Reese into the antagonist. So be it.
And once again, I said this: she didn't ask for that. I don't think she asked to be like the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I think either
Made her
media
the
made her the
villain.
villain
Yeah.
or uh, white America. I don't know, but they made her
Whatever.
the villain.
Yeah.
Once that happened, and then she hit her with this in her face, and they said it was obsessive. I think that's what made her the villain right then and there. And when she was doing this, I think that was another thing. I got a ring, and I'm hitting you with the same thing you hit my
Yeah.
people with. I think that's what made her be the villain, and she didn't even ask for it.
The point that I'm making is Caitlin Clark cannot exist without an Angel Reese. If Angel Reese never beats Caitlin Clark for the NCAA Women's
We're
Championship
not
two
even
years
having this
ago,
conversation.
we're not even having this conversation. That rivalry made this a situation. And the fact that they both transitioned to the
I was saying all this
WNBA
stuff, right?
at the same time made it even more of a rivalry.
They needed
And the
each other.
fact that Caitlin Clark joined a team that has Aaliyah Boston, former national champion, gold medalist, national player of the year. So her former nemesis is now her teammate, and they're going up against Angel Reese. That even makes for a better story. I'm not denying Caitlin Clark her greatness. I'm saying she's not doing it alone. She's not doing it alone. Angel Reese's impact is almost as strong. There's more white women in America. So, yeah, Caitlin Clark is going to sell more tickets. She's going to sell more paraphernalia because there's more white women in America than black women. That goes without saying. But to try to reduce Angel Reese to being a hater and jealous of this girl is not fair.
It's
Last time
crazy.
I checked, Caitlin Clark does not lead the NBA, the WNBA in any category. She doesn't lead the WNBA in any category. Her team has the second worst record in the entire WNBA.
Facts.
Who is jealous of that? Who is jealous of that? And then Shannon Sharpe, along with Matt Barnes and everybody else, Shady McCoy and the rest of these
Shady
Negro
McCoy.
peons, they are
Negro
up there
peons,
talking about how she's being unfairly targeted. Guess what? Angel Reese has been just as targeted on the basketball court as Caitlin Clark. Did you see the game a couple days ago where the player from the opposing team picked Angel Reese up and slammed her to the ground
She
and
didn't
she
pick
ended
her up,
up
but
getting ejected? Why didn't Shannon Sharpe talk about the bullying of Angel Reese?
she
Why
got
didn't
choke
Charles
slammed though.
Snow Bunny Barkley talk about the bullying of Angel Reese?
Charles
Why
Snow
didn't
Bunny
LeBron
Barkley.
James and Shady McCoy and Stephan A Smith talk about the bullying of Angel Reese? Why are we only talking about the alleged bullying of a Caitlin Clark? I think it's racist. I think it's unfair. Do you know what just happened last night or the night before? Asia, I forget Asia's last name. She's also a former NCAA women's champion. She's also a former national player of the year. She just made WNBA history last night or the night before. She plays
Facts.
for the Las Vegas Aces.
Aces.
She's
Yeah.
also a Dawn Staley product. She just scored 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. She's the first player in WNBA history to score 35 points, grab 10 rebounds, dish out 5 assists. It's never been done in a single game. She plays for the Las Vegas Aces. Guess what? Every home game has been sold out so far this year in Las Vegas. Is Caitlin Clark responsible for that? Is Caitlin Clark responsible for the sold out games in Chicago? What are we doing here? I can't believe Stephen A. Smith, Snow Bunny Barkley, Snow Bunny Sharpe, Matt Barnes, LaShawn McCoy, LeBron James. I can't believe they're going out of their way to help the NBA and white America paint this false narrative that Caitlin Clark is just so good and everybody else is jealous of her. That's not true.
Mm.
You're putting her on a pedestal and she's not good enough at this time to live up to the hype or to the expectation. All of those women, including Caitlin, for the new hype in the WNBA. And if I may, LeBron James, who I love and respect, black wife, black children, took his friends from childhood, had them trained, educated, and they became part of his economic empire. Nothing but respect for LeBron James with regard to that. But how is it that LeBron James can come to the aid of Caitlin Clark and protect her from her black competition in the WNBA? And how is it that LeBron James could stand in solidarity with Israel against its occupation and genocide of Palestinians? Over 100,000 Palestinians have been murdered as a result of this war. But LeBron James and Maverick Carter came out publicly in defense and in solidarity with Israel. So you came to the defense of a white country. You came to the defense of a white girl. But LeBron James, can I ask you a question? Where was all this energy 2 Junes ago in 2022? Where was all this energy, LeBron James, 2 years ago when a black man from your hometown of Akron, Ohio, by the name of Jalen Walker, was shot more than 90 times by the police of Akron? He was unarmed. He fled on foot. They caught up with him, executed him. His body was riddled with nearly 90 bullets. And do you know what LeBron James had to say about it? I have to pray for my city. That's all he could offer in defense of Jalen Walker, the black community of Akron, Ohio, and Jalen Walker's family. I have to pray. But why didn't you pray for Israel and Palestine? Why didn't you pray for Caitlin Clark? You stood up in defense of Israel. You stood up in defense of Caitlin Clark, but LeBron James couldn't stand up in defense of Jalen Walker, who was executed with 90 bullets by the police in Akron, Ohio. Here's what we need to understand. The traditional black bourgeoisie no longer exists. They no longer have in America academically trained Negroes who can influence the political and social behavior of Black America. You don't have the Jesse Jacksons with the influence they used to have anymore. You don't have the Al Sharptons with the influence they used to have anymore. You don't have the Andrew Youngs with the influence that they used to have anymore. You don't have the Congressional Black Caucus with the influence they used to have anymore. So if you no longer have an academically trained, socially elite Black bourgeoisie, who do you replace them with? You know what they're doing? They're replacing them with Black celebrities. LeBron James is now a spokesperson for Black America. Charles Snow Bunny Barkley is a spokesperson for Black America. Shannon Snow Bunny Sharpe is a spokesperson for Black America. Negroes who have no vested interest in the best interests of African people are now the spokespersons, and they are not doing a good job at all. To see these Black men throw Angel Reese under the bus, and let me not forget Emmanuel Ocho, my Nigerian brother who has a tendency to coon out every once in a while. Emmanuel Ocho, after Angel Reese lost to Caitlin Clark in the national semifinals a few months ago, He gets on television and he basically shames Angel Reese for the fact that she's receiving death threats. How do you shame a 22-year-old child? My daughter is 22 years old. How do you shame a 22-year-old girl who's crying in the post
Oh yeah, I remember
game
that.
interview
Yeah.
because she lost and under the pressure of being vilified by white America, under the pressure of racial remarks and slanderous messages being sent her way every day, all day, she cries as a child does. And what does Emmanuel Ocho do? He gets on TV, shames and blames Angel Reese, and basically tells her, if you want to play the villain, then you have to suck it up
Suffolk.
when it
Yeah.
comes your way.
He did do that.
Look at this now. Angel
Mm.
Reese is being treated like an animal by these black male sportscasters. She's being treated like an animal by these black male sportscasters, while at the same time they upholding the privileged white girl, Caitlin Clark. It ain't nothing but good old fashioned racism. And I stand in solidarity with Angel Reese. I stand in solidarity with Kennedy Carter. I stand in solidarity with Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston and all those beautiful black women who are helping to make the WNBA what it is right now. Asia Wilson is probably going to end up being the greatest
She should.
female basketball player
Yeah.
of all time. That 35, 10, and 5, she out there running that
She
thing.
like some old
Sold
Shaq
out
type
games
shit.
every night.
Mm.
Why isn't Stephen A. Smith talking about the Asia Wilson effect? And Gail King, don't you ever in your life break breath to ask a black coach what were they thinking when they went up against a white student in a national championship game. Gail King, you owe Coach Dawn Staley an apology. How dare you tell a black woman that you was rooting against her for a white team and a white player at a white university that has less than 3% black children on campus? What the hell do you mean we were all rooting for Caitlin Clark in the University of Iowa?
Hey man, everything you just said, man, was spot on. Your take was spot on, and Asia
He was
Wilson.
right.
I don't know if you know, but she is the face of the WNBA. She's the best player in the WNBA right now, and she don't get
It's
no
not
love
even
at all,
close.
yo.
She not the
It's
face
not
though,
even
but
close.
she
Asia
should
Wilson
be.
is the best player in the WNBA. It's not even close. Sold out arenas, just broke a record. I don't hear Stephen A. Smith. I don't hear Snow Bunny Sharp, Snow Bunny Barkley. I don't hear Emmanuel Ocho. I don't hear LeBron James singing her praises, but they singing the praises for Caitlin Clark. And this speaks to a larger issue, though, of black celebrity males. I want to introduce a term to you that I call political effeminization. And I want to explain what that is. Political effeminization is not sexual effeminization, it's not social effeminization. It has nothing to do with your ability to engage in stereotypical, traditional, social, aggressive male forms of behavior. Not at all. Political effeminization speaks to the need for black men to politically stand up against the white power structure
Mm.
and defend their women, their children, their elders, and their community. When I see LeBron James cape out for Caitlin Clark, like she's the only reason the WNBA is doing what it's doing. When I see Stephen A. Smith and Matt Barnes cape out for Caitlin Clark, like she's the only reason that the WNBA is doing what she's doing. When I see Snow Bunny Barkley and Snow Bunny Shay Shay cape out for her like this, it ignore Asia Wilson and her effect. Ignore Angel Reese and her effect. Ignore Aaliyah Boston and her effect. To me, that is a form of political effeminization. You don't have the courage. You don't have the courage. You don't have the masculinity to
Damn.
stand up to systemic racism in the media, in the government, in the society, in the criminal justice system, in the school system. They don't have the courage. They are not men of courage when it comes to standing up and defending the integrity and self respect of black women.
Yo,
Political effeminization.
bro was spitting.
Yeah.
And I said this in one of our other videos that, Angel Reese. And then I think I said it sucks to see that we don't even hold our own
Mm-hmm.
people up and try to lift us up. But they did. They shitted on Angel Reese, the Machady McCoy, whatever his name is. he was definitely shitting on her tough.
Mm-hmm.
And uplifting the old girl, like how she all she do is rebound, this is in that third.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't see what LeBron said, but he did say some shit too though. But it's crazy, and he was definitely spitting and making a
I
lot of
mean,
sense.
I can't disagree with nothing he said. I don't really watch his sports like that, but how he said it, he convinced me.
I mean, it's not even how he said it. It's just some of this stuff
I
that
mean, like the factual
you
stuff,
have
like
seen some of the stuff that was being said
or
around,
how they
like
act.
Shade and Corey. You heard with like the Stephen A's and what they were saying, and
Yes, yes.
and all. And even with the I forgot the other dude name. He said
Matt Barnes.
not Matt Barnes. He said some shit, and there was another guy that was on that first Speak for Yourself or something like that. I don't know his name, but he did say some shit about her being when she was she was on the podium crying about being villainized. And he said some shit. So, and everybody caping for Caitlin Clark, like everybody putting they Captain Saber hoe on, or I don't know, she ain't hoe, but they putting their Captain Saber vest on for her, and they shitting on your own people. And I mean, it is what it sucks to see that. And what makes me mad is because I'm looking at like they did this. They needed each other to do what it's doing.
Yeah, yeah.
She needed her, and Caitlin Clark
One can move forward without the other.
So when what he said about the whole Batman needing the Joker or whatever, well, don't nobody care about the Riddler. Really, nobody care about the Riddler. But like Batman needing the Joker, they needed that to happen to be where they at right now and to push the league further. But I think Asia Wilson, oh yeah, she should be the face of the league. I think I'm saying her name right. She should be the face of the league because she's the bad. She on some old Shaq type shit, like dominating type shit. So I think she should be the face of the league. But I get it how they doing it right now, and the WNBA might be messing up with that. But it's a lot of different storylines that they can go off on, the playoff on, and
versus just the one person.
there's a whole bunch of them. But Dr. Umar was spitting, man. He was really spitting. So I can't say nothing negative about that, and I'm kind of with what he talking about.
You said ditto.
And I was saying like in another video, like for people to say it's not racist is going on. They blind. They just don't want to see that, or it. Come on, bro. There's no way that you can't say some racism going on because it definitely is. But y'all give us y'all own opinions. You know what I'm saying? Put them in the comments, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Put your comments down. I want to see the comments because put your comments down there. So as always, that we say over here.
Be safe, be honest, be real.
Be real 100 in the comments. Peace.